Hey, propaganda! It only took me 3 episodes in to get into Reefer Madness territory, so let's find out why rock music is evil, and why you will probably go to hell for listening to it. Rock, It's Your Decision is a fundamentalist paranoia film about why rock music is a tool of Satan. But according to the movie, at least when you go to hell, you'll have plenty of rock music to listen to. Shit, actually it's all probably just gonna be Nickelback. First and foremost, this is not a video of me attacking religion. I would be saying these things no matter what group put out this arguably slanderous film. It's a stupid movie made by very, very stupid people who don't speak for their entire religion. The movie opens at an unnamed concert, and suddenly I feel like I did when I wrote the Grizzly 2 video. Same production quality and everything. Maybe this movie is unfinished as well. It is only 50 minutes. The music we're hearing is coming from the collection of Jeff, a Christian teenager constantly fighting with his mother over rock music.
Jeff! I'm sick and tired of telling you to turn that junk down. Now turn it off!
Oh, Mom, get off my back! I can't get any privacy around here.
You think you can't find privacy now? When do you discover masturbation? Jeff's mother thinks his music is evil, but let's listen to that song again. God forbid that someone sing about having a non-specific good time. The only way this song would be any more unthreatening is if it was this.
Just hanging out with the family, having ourselves a party.
Mom has a quick talk with Dad about their horrible excuse for his son.
I think maybe I'll call his youth pastor, Jim Owen. Maybe he'll be able to remind Jeff what the Bible says about obedience.
Good idea.
Or you can remind him of obedience. You are his parent. We meet some of Jeff's friends at church, and if they're any more dangerous than Jeff, I'm sure they're on the verge of busting out a Ouija board.
Getting tired of hearing every evangelist we get in here come in and tell me how sinful I am. Last year it was get your hair cut.
What's wrong with your haircut? In the early 80s, everyone wanted the Charles Rocket. Once church is over, he returns to his wicked, sinful ways of having taste in music.
You're home early. How was the youth meeting tonight?
Oh, it was pretty good. 2 kids got saved.
Was there an exorcism at this church service? Or a fire? He should really be more specific with that statement. I like how the song he's listening to is literally just repeating the phrase, devils and demons. Usually you have to play the album in reverse to get those lyrics. Jeff's mom meets with the youth minister, Brother Owen, to get some insight on Jeff's fascination with rock.
Mrs. Sims, kids identify so closely with their music that if someone attacks that music, it's a personal attack on the kids themselves.
Sometimes that's true. I hate most of today's music, and I also hate most of today's youth.
Do you watch soap operas on television?
Yes, but what does that...
Mrs. Sims, Jeff could scripturally come up with the same arguments for why soap operas are bad as you could for why rock music is bad.
Again, very true. Back in the 80s, my love for Tears for Fears did stem from my mom's love of Patch and Kayla. Okay, I love Patch and Kayla too. Days of Our Lives was awesome in the 80s. That's when it had Nick the Pimp. Here's where Brother Owen starts to lose me.
Rock music is one of the most difficult things a Christian young person must deal with.
That and correctly learning about safe sex.
Brother Owen, I've been so confused lately.
I still don't know if I've come to terms with Phil Collins taking over for Peter Gabriel. One of the things that really amazes me here is that this came out in 1982. I know we still have prudes and Puritans and nanny states lurking about even to this day, but was there enough of an audience to make this film? This isn't the Young American Films era, and it is a whole 26 years after Elvis could only be filmed from the waist up on the Ed Sullivan Show. There was really enough people who saw rock as a threat? What teenager is this movie trying to speak to? Because at this point in time, I think most of them were more concerned about how to sneak into Caligula than what their rock music means. I guess people just needed something to complain about before violent video games became a political issue. Anyway, back to your generalizing.
Mocking God, the occult. Aren't these things often found in rock music?
That's your opinion. You made Amy Grant famous. The counselor cuts a deal with Jeff that he can't listen to any rock music for 2 weeks.
No music for 2 weeks?
Jump back! He even offers to give Jeff some choice selections from his own collection of music.
These are some albums and a couple of tapes from my own personal collection.
It's this new up-and-comer named Marilyn Manson. I think he's going places. Oh, and here's some Godsmack. Also, if Jeff chooses to listen to rock music, he must provide 10 verses from the Bible on why that's a good decision.
Opinions change all the time, but God's word never changes.
Like the Old and New Testaments, completely the same. Still though, no rock music for 2 weeks? He better take up something else to pass the time, like drugs and murder. Or hey, how about some kinda Kim Cattrall action?
Jeff, look, he's gonna shoot her!
Wanna know a secret? That's not melted butter on my pants. This is Jeff's friend Melissa, who comes to remind him about the concert that they were going to.
Jeff, did you get the tickets to the rock concert?
I'm so excited about it that I'm not even gonna say what the name of the band is. Jeff declines the concert, which naturally upsets Melissa.
But we've waited almost 3 months for these tickets. I thought this concert was going to be my birthday present.
Well, look, you can still go.
It's okay. Dexy's Midnight Runners will be around for years to come. Jeff is suddenly taking up the opinion that all rock is evil because of a book that told him to think that way.
Here, you should read some of this too. I never realized before how bad a lot of that music is.
You needed a book to tell you that Ode to Billy Joe is a terrible song? This upsets Melissa so much that she threatens to go to the concert with someone else.
And I'm going to the concert. Maybe with Dennis. He'd love to go out with me.
He has individuality, personality, thinks for himself, sticks up for his tastes. Come to think of it, Dennis is a much better person than you. So when Melissa doesn't listen, Jeff decides to preach to his friend Marty.
And look at this one. You see what I mean?
This one has black tape covering the band's name too. They're all like this. You know, I can almost buy the counselor's genuosity. He has an opinion I disagree with, sure, but at least he's nice about it and has clearly held these beliefs for a long time. Jeff is suddenly acting like some judgmental jerk-ass who is flailing around accusations without any evidence to back it up.
Some of these groups, some are even involved in the occult.
Name one. Go ahead. You brought it up. Name one example. I'm not saying there aren't any, but if you're going to paint an entire genre of music as a cultist, back it up with at least one example. But all he does is switch the topic on how bad it is that kids listen to Kiss.
I talked to 2 different record clerks at the shop at the mall. They said that the average age of a person buying a Kiss album was 12 years old. 12.
It's okay, that changed by the time they saw Kiss meets Phantom of the Park. Wait, you went into a record store asking about children? Can this movie have at least one voice of reason?
Don't you think you're going off the deep end? I mean, everyone has a right to his own taste in music.
Thank you. This movie finally has a hero. And let me guess, they're gonna treat him as a villain.
Hey, if you're gonna get rid of these albums, throw them my way, huh?
Except for the Frampton Bee Gees Sgt. Pepper album. You can keep that. After days go by of Jeff's social life falling apart, he has to confide once again to Brother Owen.
It's been 6 days now. Sometimes I want to change that channel so bad. But I won't.
Yeah, fuck free will. There's one part here that I really love, and it isn't because of what's going on in the scene. It's a part where Jeff goes to a record store, and it reminds me of how much I miss having a huge old-school record store in our mall. I wax nostalgic over shit like this all the time. The scene itself just has Jeff trying to talk to people about their taste in music.
I tried to interview 2 teenagers in the record department, but when they found out I was a Christian, they hassled me a little bit.
They probably hassled you because you went up to strangers and called them godless heathens. But still, he cannot resist the allure of some jammin' tunes.
The beat just grabbed me. Couldn't get the music out of my mind. Until I got home and played one of the tapes you gave me. It's just weird being controlled like that.
How dare you enjoy something that you like? You know, at this point, this is getting kind of sad. We are looking at a movie about how this kid's elders are taking something as innocent as his taste in music and using it to destroy his personality and his life.
Some sinful habits I had to get rid of instantly, but other things that had played a big part of my life, well, I had to give them up.
Not all rock music is about sex and drugs. Just like not all Christians think that rock music is evil.
Now, with the work almost completed, you're facing some difficult choices. It's not as easy as a simple yes or no, is it?
Yes, it is that easy. Just be a good person. If there is a God, I don't think he cares if you have The Golden Age of Wireless by Thomas Dolby. Although I'm sure some of the characters in this movie would prefer that you listen to She Blinded Me with Creationism. But Melissa tries to cheer Jeff up by inviting him to a party.
Oh, Jeff, want to have some fun?
Oh, good idea. This is like inviting Morrissey to a pep rally. As you can imagine, things don't go well. Someone turns on rock music, which sends Jeff into a pussy. I mean a frenzy.
This is a party. What do you want, Amazing Grace?
It's our youth group in there.
Then why did you bother to invite me if you plan to play that
Man, it's like I told you before. Don't push it down my throat. Now, if you want to have some fun, okay. But if you don't like it, then just go home to Mama.
No, I want him to stay. Stay and tell me how that instrumental rock song is evil. So far, you've only had a problem with lyrics. So what's the matter with this one? Oh, you're not going to answer? Okay. This far into the movie, I'm not entirely convinced that the audience is supposed to be rooting for Jeff. Who could possibly root for him? Maybe this is a propaganda film on the flip side. It's about how Jeff's religion is turning him into a terrible person.
You're a hypocrite! A hypocrite!
Jeff returns to the party because if his life is going in a downward spiral of depression, he's taking his friends with him.
I've been insulted and made fun of the last 2 weeks.
Oh, you've been insulted?
I've learned quite a bit these last 2 weeks, and I'm not going to stick around here and be a hypocrite. You think you're so perfect? Well, you're not. With your nose in the soap operas all day, they're nothing but sex with commercials.
You should have gotten your ass kicked. Jeff finally decides that friends and feelings are overrated, so he turns his back on all rock music.
I want people to think that I'm different when they see me. I want them to think that Christianity is something more than just going to church.
I want people to think that Christianity is judging people based on their taste in pop culture. The movie even ends with Jeff giving a sermon to the local youth group about his discoveries on rock music.
I want you to think about these questions I'm going to ask. How many of you plan to leave church tonight to go out and get drunk? Or how many of you are going to go out and shoot up with some heroin or smoke a joint? If you're shocked by these questions, or if you think they're a little funny, maybe you should take a close look at the music you've been listening to.
Because music is on par with shooting up heroin.
Just walk into some record store that's playing a really good get-down beat. See what the music does to you. Have any of you ever seen a rock concert on TV? Or maybe even been to one personally? How did the audience react to the music? Well, did they just sit quietly in their seats and listen? Man, I sure wouldn't. No, they were all en masse, swaying and clapping and dancing and jumping to the beat. They were actually being controlled.
Much like how comedy makes you laugh, drama makes you cry, horror makes you scared. These are emotions, people, and emotion is a sin. Please, tell us more of your findings.
I did a survey out at the mall. 4 out of 5 of the teenagers I talked to said that the lyrics weren't important as long as the music was pretty good.
The 5th person was just some guy buying Disco Duck. But come on, we need names, we need titles. Tell us what is evil, Jeff.
Here's a song by the Eagles. Used to be one of my favorite songs. One of these nights, I've been searching for the daughter of the devil himself. I've been searching for an angel in white. I've been looking for a woman who's a little of both.
You have a problem with One of These Nights by the Eagles? Wait till you get to Hotel California.
Listen how many of them have something to do with Satanism or the occult. Sympathy for the Devil,
A song about the atrocities of man.
Dancing with Mr. D by the Rolling Stones,
It's about death, not the devil.
Devil's Den and Dance with the Dragon by Jefferson Starship,
Dance with the Dragon? I think you're confusing Satanism with the Chinese Year of the Dragon.
Evil Ways and Soul Sacrifice by Santana,
Yes, I can see how you would have misinterpreted the line, "You've got to change your evil ways."
and listen to these by the rock group AC/DC. Rock and Roll Damnation, Let There Be Rock, Highway to Hell, and this is my favorite right here. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be.
First of all, metaphor, but also, it's a song about how a woman causes a shallow man everlasting torment.
Captain and Tennille have even tried to change their images with songs like, You Need a Woman Tonight.
Oh, the Captain and Tennille is a sin now too? Calling the Captain and Tennille a sin is a sin against the word sin. Dude, I totally want to get in on this too. Okay. Oh, you belong to the city, like how Sodom and Gomorrah was a city. More. The words spoken by a porn star. Cuts like a knife? Sure, let's advocate mass murder. Evil woman? Need I say more? Fucking Jezebel. The Reflex? Thank you. A song about an erection. I could go on and on with this, but here's where I stop.
What are the main themes of rock music? When I went through my own record collection, I was shocked. And what about the lifestyles of the popular groups and artists? Some are admitted homosexuals.
Kid, go fuck yourself. Your decision is to not listen to rock music. Fine. My decision is that I don't have to listen to any more of what you have to say, because as soon as you bring your homophobic beliefs into this one-sided conversation, I am done with you. You want to say music is evil, fine, that's your right, but you at least have to back it up. This is a really depressing movie. I'm not kidding. This is actually one of the more depressing things I've sat through, and I watched Sallow in a Serbian film. This is a movie about a kid whose love for music is transmorphed into something quote-unquote evil by his paranoid parents until he is turned into a raving, bigoted fanatic who loses his friends, his personality, and any sense of independence. You can make your point without writing off an entire genre of music as a tool of devil-worshipping, drug-abusing homosexuals. That makes you sound fucking crazy. Especially when your examples are debunked.
Everything that we do should be to glorify Jesus Christ.
Rock, it's your decision, and I've decided that the most likely conclusion is that 10 years after this movie takes place, Jeff probably hung himself.